The ability to rescue an unconscious diver underwater is a fundamental skill that every diver should master, regardless of their specific diving discipline. As with many critical aspects of scuba diving, initial training alone is not sufficient. Regular practice is absolutely crucial to maintain both proficiency and effectiveness. Unfortunately, the rescue procedures promoted by many training agencies often fail to reflect the practical challenges of real-world emergencies, and continuous practice is not encouraged after receiving yet another certification card, leaving divers inadequately prepared when it matters most. With this in mind, let's take a closer look at what truly works and how we can train for it more effectively. When we notice a diver who appears to be unresponsive, our initial priority is to assess the situation carefully to determine whether the individual is truly unconscious or simply pausing, perhaps observing marine life or resting momentarily. A key indicator of possible unconsciousness is when a diver lies motionless on the bottom, as this behavior deviates from what is expected of a competent, mindful diver. Simultaneously, the presence of a consistent release of bubbles suggests that the diver is still breathing adequately. Directing a light into their field of vision or applying a gentle shake are effective methods for evaluating their responsiveness. If there is no reaction, we can reasonably assume the diver is unconscious, communicate with our team members, and initiate the rescue procedure. Verifying the diver's gas supply is crucial, as it ensures they will have sufficient reserves throughout the controlled and safe rescue ascent, including any required decompression stops. An important preliminary step is for the rescuer to fully vent their own wing before initiating the ascent and rely solely on the victim's wing to manage buoyancy. This approach is critical as attempting to operate two buoyancy systems, particularly when one hand is dedicated to securing the victim's regulator, can be highly impractical and may increase the risk of complications such as an uncontrolled or rapid ascent. The rescuer initiates the ascent by inhaling while simultaneously adding small bursts of gas to the victim's wing. And here is the problem. Contrary to the portrayals common in most rescue videos, the natural tendency of an unconscious, relaxed body, due to the absence of muscle tension, is to assume a vertical orientation immediately upon the start of the ascent. This posture significantly complicates the rescue effort, as it generates substantial hydrodynamic drag, making it challenging to control both depth and direction. The increased drag resulting from the victim's vertical body orientation significantly impairs the rescuer's swimming efficiency, while simultaneously complicating depth control and introducing additional difficulty in maintaining the head position required for proper airway management. To resolve the various shortcomings of traditional methods, we devised a streamlined solution that remarkably improves the rescuer's control and operational effectiveness. It is important to emphasize that this method demands a high degree of diving proficiency, technical competence, and consistent practice of rescue techniques. Therefore, it should only be attempted by individuals who have demonstrated solid and reliable diving skills and have dedicated the time and effort to refine their rescue techniques, ensuring both their safety and the effectiveness of the rescue. The initial steps remain consistent. Observing the diver, communicating the commencement of the rescue procedure with the team, and verifying the victim's gas supply are fundamental regardless of the chosen method. However, we introduce a quick, simple, yet invaluable addition to the procedure. The rescuer secures the victim to themselves by threading their fin bungee through the victim's rear D-ring and attaching the bolt snap to the front D-ring on their own crotch strap. This connection helps maintain the victim's horizontal orientation, facilitating the rescuer's ability to control the entire ascent. Once this step is completed, the rescuer must ensure that the victim's airway remains open and that the regulator stays securely in place throughout the ascent. This is achieved by holding the regulator in the victim's mouth while gently tilting their head upward, facilitating continuous breathing. Prior to initiating the ascent, the rescuer vents all gas from their own wing before adding gas to the victim's BC. By employing this technique, the victim is positioned horizontally and parallel to the rescuer rather than suspended vertically, resulting in a markedly more streamlined profile. This approach allows the rescuer to effectively maneuver with the victim, facilitating a controlled, gradual ascent while maintaining precise depth control if decompression stops are required. However, if both the victim and rescuer remain within their no decompression limits, prioritizing the victim's timely arrival at the surface takes precedence over completing stops. Nevertheless, adherence to the correct ascent rate remains critical to minimizing the risk of decompression sickness. Furthermore, this technique grants the rescuer convenient access to the victim's dump valve located on the bottom left of their wing, allowing for effective management of the ascent by venting expanding gas to control buoyancy changes. It also aids in stabilizing and adjusting the victim's body position during the ascent. Upon completing the final stop at 3 meters, the rescuer reorients both themselves and the victim to face the surface by turning 180 degrees horizontally, enabling visual assessment of the area above. This allows the rescuer to promptly abort the ascent and adjust their position if any hazards or obstacles are detected at the surface. This maneuver also places both the rescuer and the victim in an ideal position for surface towing, thereby streamlining the subsequent extraction process and reducing the overall time required to remove the victim from the water. Once at the surface, the first action is to ensure positive buoyancy by completely inflating the wings of both divers. Next, the rescuer detaches the bungee from their crotch strap to ensure they are no longer connected to the victim, as continued attachment could compromise both the efficiency and safety of the victim's extraction from the water. It is essential that the victim's regulator and mask remain securely in place at all times to prevent water from entering the airway. We will explore additional key considerations related to surface rescue techniques in an upcoming video. Provided they have the capacity to do so, the rescuer may inflate a surface marker buoy using the victim's inflator while proceeding toward the nearest location for assistance. However, it is essential that this action be performed only if the rescuer can simultaneously maintain control of the victim and ensure the airway remains open. The SMB serves as a clear signal to individuals on shore or nearby vessels, and waving it is universally recognized as a distress signal, indicating the need for immediate aid. When dealing with an unconscious diver, it's important to call for help as early as possible. The rescuer will likely need assistance getting the victim out of the water, and early communication gives people time to prepare and contact emergency services if needed. Let's take a closer look at the adaptable tool employed to secure the victim to the rescuer. This device consists of a bolt snap with a large eye and a 6 mm thick, approximately 60 centimeters long bungee cord looped through it. The large opening of the bolt snap is crucial, allowing the diver to easily insert their fingers for a secure grip, thereby facilitating rapid attachment and detachment from their D-ring. The bungee is intentionally selected for its thickness, offering a balance of tensile strength and controlled elasticity, flexible enough to allow movement without compromising stability through excessive stretch. The bungee can be finely adjusted through a series of strategically placed knots, allowing the user to tailor its effective length by looping the bolt snap through the desired knot. This simple tool was originally designed as a convenient way to carry your fins on land. If you haven't yet added a fin bungee to your gear setup, now is the ideal time. It fits easily in your pocket and offers multiple uses, including the critical rescue application demonstrated earlier. Thanks for watching and hope you learned something. Consider subscribing to FlowState Divers to become part of the community of conscious divers and to get notified on our upcoming content.